making a new. I'm doing a new show where I'm going to be reviewing some cheap games and like in free movies, like movies that you can find on like Tubi and stuff. So ones that you don't have to pay. Oh, I can't believe I died right then. Rust JT presents Cheap Thrills, and we bring you Angerfoot. From eating creepy creatures to have wacky psychedelic experiences, to throwing plungers to pull people to their dooms, or drinking energy drinks to run hyperspeeds, this game brings you some wild and wacky stuff. The game on a 10-point scale, 2 points for each category: look, sound, special sauce, movement, and fun. And so far, it looks like the look is a 1.5 because it really just delivers what it looks like. It's groovy, it has a fun look, it's cartoonish, but that's what you want. So the look is what it should be, 1.5. The sound, now that's the one thing I have a little bit of issue with. For a game that boasts a bumping soundtrack that's so great, it's way too bumping. It's a little bit too constant. Just, I'm not a huge fan. I'm going to give that a 1. I'm sorry I have to do it. Now for movement, that's a huge thing in games. For me, just the ability to get from to to fro in an entertaining way is huge and massive, and that's an entire category for me because you can see that could be seen in so many different ways. But point is, this game gets a 2 in that. It's clean, it's perfect, the movement is lovely, attacks land, bullets fly, it works the way it's supposed to. Now for fun, just straight up fun factor, it's a good game, it's fun, and I like to think the biggest point other than replay is if I want to keep playing it after playing for about 3 hours, and I would say that's a yes. So that goes over. That's a 1.5 on its own, but it's not a perfect game, so it stays at 1.5. That's still quite a decent score. Now for the special sauce, the special spark, that special thing, I'm also going to give it a 1.5. That's a difficult score to get, only because it's the shoes, yeah, it's just any sort of power up technically, but it's not just that, because since they're shoes and sneakers, they have to stay along the guidelines of like, power up kicks, or, not just flying or shooting fire or whatever, like any other power up, any other game. They do try to stay along the idea of, kicks and stuff, and that's fun because that's their special sauce. That's the little bit of flavor that they added to it, and they stick to it, and that's good. And I feel like that's there's value in that, and that's why it gets a 1.5. Now that means the game, all in all, gets a 7.5, but don't get me wrong, that's actually quite a good score on the scale that I use. Don't consider that a bad score. That's kind of like it's more like a B plus than a C than it seems, but it's actually quite good. So 7.5, guys. That's for Angerfoot. That's for JT presenting his first 0.5, not a full episode of Cheap Thrills. Let's get to it, boys. I'm just kind of wondering what the general feel is. It's like Hotline Miami meets your favorite cartoony first-person shooter. That's the best way I can think of it. And if any of you guys have played that type of game, it's definitely a speed run trainer in its own right. If you want to train yourself how to play speed runs, or just speed run a game that you've been wanting to play, like if you're looking, hey, I want to play a good speed run style game, this is it. This is definitely one of them. Especially if it's a first-person shooter speed run that you're looking for, as opposed to platformer or whatever. So yeah, that's definitely if you're looking for that style of game, this is what you want to find. This is what you want to look for. The exploding door was cool, but not exactly what I'm looking for. I think the powerful dash is insane. It can be a little crazy, like obviously as you can see, it gets a bit unwieldy. But as long as you're just like I like that because you can get across there if you really want it fast. Because not only is it a great attack, no, I refuse to listen. No. I tried. I was like, no.